Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. I want to welcome you to today's episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you are back again, welcome back. So today's episode, I wanted to talk to you about the healing power of crystals. So as all of you know, I am a Reiki practitioner, and I use crystals a lot in my work and also just in my everyday life. And so I wanted to talk to you about what crystals are, what they can do for you, and maybe what are some crystals that could help you with your particular situation or problem. Now, some of you may already use crystals. I am not an expert by any means. I am just telling you what I already know from what I have done in my own work. So if you have further information, please feel free to share. So first of all, why do people believe so much in crystals? And isn't it just all a lot of nonsense to hold a rock? No, it's not. And some people might look at you like that, like, what are you doing? What are you talking about crystals for? But actually, crystals have been around for a long time. And crystals really have a lot of healing power, and that's because they are connected to the earth. And the earth contains a lot of healing energy in of itself. So you can use crystals, you can wear them, you can use them to set intentions to help you manifest things. You can amplify positive vibes you're trying to cultivate. If you've been going through depression or just feeling a lot of negative energy, you can use crystals to help clear that energy and to raise your vibration. So how does this work exactly? So clear quartz crystal has been on Earth since the beginning of time. A lot of ancient civilizations used crystals to protect themselves as peace offerings, or they wore them as jewelry. Now, today, quartz makes up about 12% of the Earth's crust, and it's used in a lot of different kinds of technology. It's used in electronics, computer chips, it's used in watches. So if crystals can work for technology, then it would stand to reason that their energy would transcend technology and be able to work with humans as well. So because of their connection to Earth and its life-giving elements, it makes sense then that crystals are very healing and have a lot of healing properties. There's actually been a lot of scientific evidence done on the power of crystals. There was some work done by IBM scientist Marcel Vogel. So you can go and do all of that research. But, Albert Einstein talked about how everything in life is vibration. And if you think about it, when we talk about Reiki healing, it's energy, and your energy is raising someone else's energy vibration. It's all about energy. So if there's energy in the crystal, it makes sense that it can affect the energy in your body. So enough about does it work? Yes, then this is why. Let's talk about what kind of crystals you should choose. Now, a lot of people will choose crystals just because of what they look like, but it goes a lot deeper than that. Different crystals have different properties and different healing abilities and different areas that they work on. And there's also different vibrations. Now, if you are fortunate enough to have a store around you that sells crystals, you can go in and you can go and pick up the crystals and hold them, and you will get a different vibration, a different feeling from holding different crystals. And honestly, a year ago, if you would have said that to me, I would have laughed in your face and been like, whatever, it's just a rock. But since then, I've actually gone in and have picked up different kinds of crystals, and I will tell you that there is totally a different vibration when you pick up different crystals. The one I talked about yesterday that really was powerful to me was the moldavite. Now that's a little more expensive. Moldavite is a crystal that helps us to open our connection to the divine and open up to our, like if you have any psychic gifts or abilities, that helps you to open up to that. So if you're looking at opening your third eye, that's one crystal that you could work with. So how do you choose a crystal? So again, going in and feeling the power that comes from that crystal is one way, because a lot of people will say that, you don't pick the crystal picks you. And somehow I kind of believe that's true when you go in and you actually hold the different crystals. It's like picking out a puppy, when you go to the pound, one will definitely call out to you. And it's the same thing with a crystal. You kind of just are drawn to a certain crystal that helps you. Now, I order mine online. I've done it both ways. I've gone in a store, I've also ordered them online. So when you order them online, it's not like you can actually pick it up and see what energy it's giving off. But I will tell you, if you order it online, make sure you read the reviews, because some places don't always offer the best quality crystal. Now, this is more for like if you're going to order it from Amazon, because they have multiple suppliers. If you go to a store that actually deals in crystals and they sell them and they're reputable, you don't usually have to worry about it. It's more from like when you go to Amazon. But it's perfectly fine to do that. I've gotten some really great crystals from Amazon. So let's talk about the different crystals that there are. There's a whole list. And so if you're listening to this and you can take notes or write something down here, you might want to, just because you may hear of some crystals that you need to work with, because you may be thinking to yourself, well, I've really been having a lot of, sleepless nights, or I'm having pain, or I'm having this, or I'm having that. And you might hear a crystal that you would like to work with that you think might work for you. So you might want to write it down, is what I'm trying to tell you. So first of all, let's talk about healing crystals. I use crystals when I do Reiki. I'm actually holding on to the crystals while I'm doing the Reiki. Now, some people do that, some people don't. It's really all a matter of preference. And some people will ask me, when I do Reiki on them, they will say, I have crystals, can I hold them? And I say, absolutely, you can do what you feel is best. So first things first, when you get your crystal, it's important to clear your crystal. You want to make sure that you've cleared any energy. It's the same with a lot of divination tools that you use. You want to make sure that it's cleared. So one way to clear something is to burn sage or Palo Santo, and to just put the crystal in the, not in the flame, but in the smoke from the sage, and put the intention that you're clearing the energy of this crystal. Another thing you can do is to put it out in the moonlight. And actually, every time there's a full moon, I usually do put my crystals out. Not sure what my neighbors think of me, but, whatever. They're probably like, what is she doing again? But I like to put them out because the full moon cleanses them. Also, you can bury them in the earth if they're small. That is also a way to cleanse them. I believe that you can, I think you can run them in like salt water to cleanses them. There are a few ways, but those are the ones that I know of. So you want to clear it. And then what I do with the crystals is I hold them, and before I start my Reiki session, I say a prayer. I take a deep breath, I say a prayer, and I set my intention that these crystals are going to help me in healing whoever I'm working with. So you also want to set an intention with why you're holding the crystal, and we'll talk about the different uses for them. So you'll have different intentions depending on which one you're using. So you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then set your intention that, I'm working with this crystal to help me with this, and it'll be different for each thing you're using. And then, so for me, sometimes when I'm just meditating or sitting, breathing quietly, sitting in quiet, still meditation, I will hold on to the crystal and put my intentions out there. So amethyst is one. It's a light purple color. It's a very beautiful crystal, and this helps with stress, promotes relaxation, brings peace and balance. It also is considered to be a very healing crystal. Then there's clear quartz. Clear quartz, it can aid in concentration and help in calming, but it's also like a clearing crystal. So if you wanted to clear a crystal of energy and you had a piece of the clear quartz or selenite and it was a smaller crystal, you could put it on top of that to cleanse it as well. Citrine, it is supposed to attract wealth, and it aids in removing toxins from the body. It is an orangish color, a yellowish orange, as the name citrine might suggest, and it is supposed to bring happiness and joy. And then you have the pink quartz crystal or rose quartz crystal. This is considered to be the love stone. It is supposed to bring love into your love life. So many people suggest putting it around your home, like especially in your bedroom, if you're wanting to attract more love. It helps in forgiveness and in raising your self-esteem. And then there's the black tourmaline, which guards against radiation, it promotes self-confidence, and it protects and eliminates negative energy. So those are some crystals to help in healing, and there's many more. I'm going to be talking about quite a few. There's also crystals for negativity. A lot of people have been telling me like, oh, I'm just feeling like there's this negative energy all around me, and it's not my own. I know there have been a lot of people who I think are empaths, excuse me, who've been contacting me saying, how do I clear my own energy? And that meditation was one way yesterday, but also you can use crystals to do that. So one crystal for clearing negativity is the black onyx. It absorbs negative energy. And again, once you use it, you want to cleanse it afterwards. So you could bury it, or you could do cleansing with the sage or the Palo Santo. Black tourmaline, it shields you from energy around you and provides a haven of safe and solitude. Again, amethyst also can protect you from negativity. Smoky quartz, it sort of is like provides a shield around you to keep you from absorbing any negativity. And then obsidian, it cleans and clears your aura and helps to reflect negative energy back to its source. So those are just some examples of crystals you can use to help with negativity. And then there's crystals you can use for anxiety. So if you are feeling really anxious, these are some of the crystals you can use. Now, amethyst, again, can help with that because it alleviates tension and pain. Blue lace agate, it restores inner calm and relaxation, and it soothes the mind. Labradorite, it dispels fear, anxiety, or negativity. Rose quartz also, again, it imparts the unconditional love and dispels negativity and disease. Garnet stimulates willpower, intuition, safety, and trust. Citrine, again, is supposed to promote cheerfulness, so that's another good one for anxiety. And sodalite clears negative feelings, and it brings focus from detail into just being, so you're not focusing on all the little things. And honestly, there are crystals for everything, but going along with the anxiety, crystals for panic attacks, again, the sodalite, turquoise is supposed to be good for that. Rhodonite, there's a lot of different, the rose quartz again. Calming crystals, again, rose quartz, amethyst, the blue lace agate. There's just so many different things. If you want mental clarity, fluorite is a good crystal. The citrine is also another good one for that. Clear quartz. Selenite is really good too for clearing your energy. I like that one. Whenever I do my podcast, sometimes I just hold on to the piece of selenite. And when I work with kids sometimes who have anxiety, I will give them a selenite stick. You can buy them they come in like a pack of these sticks of the selenite, and they're very reasonable. I think it's like $10 for a pack of them. I buy them, and then, like I said, I give them to the kids that I work with so that they can hold on to them when they begin to feel a little agitated, and it kind of calms them and clears their energy. So that's another thing to think of. If you have children who tend to have anxiety or they're having trouble focusing, you can use crystals for that too. Again, there are just so many different kinds of crystals, but if you're having like, let's say you have a child who's having nightmares, you can place crystals around their room, like either on their dresser, around their bed. You can even place them under their pillow if they're old enough that you know that they're not going to, play with them or be hurt by them. In other words, like they wouldn't try to put them in their mouths or anything like that. But one of the crystals for that is amethyst, which we talked about before, pink mangano, calcite, smoky quartz. Just put those either under the pillow or safe place next to the bed. And I would even just tell your child that you're putting them there to protect them, and then maybe before you put them to bed, tuck them in with your child, just tell them that you're going to say a little prayer and ask Archangel Michael to come in and be with them and to shield them and to protect them. A lot of children have night terrors, and one of the reasons I think they have night terrors is because sometimes they're remembering a past life. It's like they're not fully grounded here, and so they're still remembering things from past lives. But another reason that they have nightmares is sometimes their guides or even departed loved ones will visit them at night. You may hear your child talk about like a figure standing at their bed, and I don't believe they're there to scare them at all. But as children, they don't understand what's going on necessarily, so they see it as like a shadowy figure. And then the fact that we have all these scary movies and haunted houses and things, that doesn't help. But I believe it's sometimes just their guides trying to be there for them, either trying to get them a message or whatever, and they don't know what's going on, so it scares them, obviously. I know that my niece had a lot of issues with night terrors. And when I talked to her about it, she said that she would see a man standing at the end of her bed, and we talked about it, and, I'm pretty sure it was her guides. And even like a couple of times departed loved ones just checking on her, but, she's little and doesn't understand that that's what they're there for. So if you have a child suffering from that, I do definitely feel for you, because if they're not sleeping, you're probably not sleeping either. But that's one thing that you could do for them, is place those crystals around their bed and then ask Archangel Michael to come in and be with them. And also, there's a guided meditation you can do. That might be something that I need to maybe make, but I do a guided meditation with them, just letting them know it's safe to be here. It's safe to be here in this lifetime, because sometimes I believe it's almost like they're not fully grounded here. It's interesting. It's really interesting. But there are crystals for pain relief too. So if you've got some pain going on, rose quartz, again, soothes pain from cuts and scrapes and bruises. So you can put the crystals right on the spot that needs it. We'll talk about how to use those again in a minute. But rose quartz is also another one that you can buy in bulk, and it's fairly cheap. And you can put the rose quartz in like a decorative bowl or something in an area of the room where you need more love in that room. So, the bedroom is often where they say that you can put it. So you could put it there. And it's really pretty, so it looks nice too. The other thing that you can get is malachite. It's for general pain, and you can hold the stone either near the site of the pain or on it for as long as you need to. But they do have healing properties there. So there's also crystals for new moms too. Having a baby is it takes such a toll on the human body. I remember growing up as a young woman, I was so happy, couldn't wait to have kids. And no one ever prepared me for how hard it is on your body and for the adjustments you go through afterwards. And I'm pretty sure that I had postpartum depression, but I never said anything. I mean, I think my family probably thought I did too, but nobody ever said anything. It just wasn't really talked about. But it is perfectly normal to not feel like yourself for a long time after you have a baby. But there are some crystals to help you with that. So citrine, that also helps to balance your hormonal levels, which is so important because those are so off. After you have a baby, it's incredible how much you go through those hormonal shifts. So citrine would be something to look into. And even if you're like going into menopause, that might be another one to citrine to balance that, If it balances the hormones, I would think that would work for menopause too. The lapis lazuli, it provides reassuring energy boost and confidence. Amethyst can relieve anxiety. And you have rhodochrosite, promotes self-worth and self-love, fosters a nurturing instinct. And I don't know how to pronounce this one, and I've never used it, but it's, I think, chiastolite. It's chiastolite, and it's a protective stone. It aids problem solving and stimulates lactation. And then there's labradorite, which clears worry and fears that disrupt sleep. So sleep for new moms is so super important. So you might want to look into that. And there's so many different crystals that can help for many different things. So the thing is, just go do your research. If there's something that you're looking to aid in, even if it's, say, manifestation, because rose quartz crystal also is supposed to aid in manifesting money. And there are other crystals that do that as well. I believe the citrine was one that also aids in manifesting wealth. So there's a lot of crystals that do many different things. The main thing is just to get out there and do the research. So whatever it is you're hoping to get help with, look that up online. You can find information everywhere. Pinterest has a whole thing. So you can go and look up what it is you need help with, what crystal helps that. And then you can go and look for that crystal. So picking your crystal is the first thing. And I will warn you that when you start getting crystals, it's like an addiction. It's like you get one and then you have to have 5 million. So I'll warn you about that, because it's like jewelry. It's like you get it and it's so pretty and it's shiny and it's smooth, and sometimes not smooth, but they're always pretty and shiny and nice, and then you want more of them. So don't let it become a habit. Don't let it take over your life. That's just a warning, because that's how I was when I first started getting into that. I'm like, oh, these are so cool. These are pretty. Oh, I love the way this feels. So once you get your crystal, what should you do with it? So what you need to do after you've cleaned it, and again, there are several ways to do that. Easiest really, if you have sage, is just to burn that and to put the smoke of the burning sage or the Palo Santo, put the crystal in that smoke. But again, you can bury it in the earth to allow it to become fully charged. Put it in the sun or full moon for 4 hours. Those will recharge it too. Then you need to hold the crystal in your hands. You want to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths and think about how this makes you feel, and connect then to whoever is your higher power, God, divine source, whatever you call your higher power. Just take a moment to really connect. And then think of the intentions for your crystal, like 3 intentions. So by holding this, I wish to manifest more money in my life. And say that 3 times. And then say thank you 3 times. And then once you've set that intention, then when you pick up that crystal, that's the intention that you're holding this and you're hoping to receive more money, or you're hoping to heal, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So one of the things you can also do is some people meditate, or I guess they also do yoga with the crystals. I'm not sure about the yoga. I've never done that. But they can meditate, and you can put the crystals on specific points in your body. One of the things you can do is they have different crystals that are associated with the different chakras. So while you are meditating, you can have these crystals laying on the different chakra points. So the first one I'll start with is the crown chakra, which is at the top of your head. So if you're hoping to open your crown chakra, you could meditate, and then you can use selenite, clear quartz crystal, moonstone, fluorite, amethyst, or labradorite. Those are the stones you can use that are associated with the crown chakra. So you can hold that on your crown chakra, so at the top of your head. Then there's the third eye chakra, which is, of course, right in the middle of your other 2 eyes. You can use lapis lazuli. You can use lowlight, sapphire, or sodalite there. You can place it there. And it is supposed to open up this connection with your third eye. Then you have your throat chakra, which is in the throat, as you would guess. And the crystals associated with that are blue lace agate, angelite, turquoise, amazonite, kyanite. And I will tell you, I have blue kyanite, and I love it. This, I feel, is a very powerful crystal. Every time I hold it, it's like, oh, I use that for when I do Reiki. Blue tiger's eye, hawk's eye, and blue topaz. Those are some other stones for the throat chakra. So any of you who've had people telling you you need to speak your truth or you need to open your throat chakra, those are the crystals you might want to look into. Then there's the heart chakra at the center of your chest. Rose quartz, again, is good for that. Green aventurine, the rhodonite, rhodochrosite, amazonite, malachite, and unakite. So any of those crystals help with the heart chakra. So you can hold the rose quartz or whichever one you pick up to your heart chakra as you meditate to, I think it's a lot about visualizing that it's opening up too. Like the color of that heart chakra gets brighter and brighter. And the heart chakra is green. That's the color it shows up as. And then you have your solar plexus chakra, which is right above your belly button. So citrine is good for that, tiger's eye, amber, yellow calcite, and topaz. And the solar plexus chakra is where we get our sense of self-worth and our self-confidence and who we are. So if that's blocked, you may be feeling depressed, you may have low self-esteem. And so if you're wanting to work on self-esteem, that would be the chakra to work on. Those would be the crystals to use. Then there's your sacral chakra, which is below the solar plexus chakra. You can use carnelian for that, peach moonstone, orange aventurine, or orange calcite. And your sacral chakra has all to do with pleasure in life. And yes, when I say pleasure, it means exactly what you probably pictured right away. So if you're looking to improve that area of your life, then those are the stones to look at. And then there's your root chakra, which is at the base of your spine, and this should show up a red color. This is where we are, our physiological needs are being met, so we feel like we have enough. And the smoky quartz, red jasper, red tiger's eye, obsidian, black tourmaline, and bloodstone, those are all really good crystals for opening up that root chakra. So again, you can just hold the crystal or a certain crystal while putting your intention out there and just focusing on that. Or you can do a meditation and you can put the crystal on that, all of your chakras or a specific chakra. I would do the visualization again where you have the crystal on that chakra and you're imagining the chakra opening and that the light of that chakra gets brighter and brighter. That's usually what I do. And if you're just looking for calmness, you can simply hold the crystal. You don't have to do anything with it necessarily, but putting your intentions out there, I think, is a good thing, because then it's like, this is why I'm holding this crystal and this is what I want to achieve. So either taking a deep breath, closing your eyes, sitting there holding the crystal, and then setting that intention of, I'm holding this because I need to feel calm and balance in my life. And, just keep thinking that over and over, and then saying thank you that I'm experiencing calm in my life. So that was just a really quick overview of the crystals, because there's so many. And I'm not an expert by any means, but I just know that I use them in my own line of work. And even in my personal life, I use them. And my family will laugh and tell you that I hand them crystals every now and then. I'm like, here, take this with you. I gave out rose quartz to my whole family because I was like, here, so you have more money and more love in your life. And at first they all thought I was weird. And then my mom was like, look what I have in my purse. It's my rose quartz crystal. So there's something to be said about the crystals. And it is fun to look through them and see, what do I want? What do I like? I'm thinking about possibly making some bracelets with the crystals and infusing them with Reiki and then selling them. Because my niece and I were talking about this. There's been a huge debate about, I live in Illinois, but I work in Missouri, and there's been a huge debate about the new abortion law that was passed. And my niece and I were talking. We're kind of on different sides of the spectrum here. She's on one side, I'm on the other, and she's young. She's only 10 or 11, but she's about to be 11. Very wise in a lot of ways in her thinking. So we had this discussion about it, and we didn't really agree, but the topic of foster care came up and how there's so many children in foster care, and there are a lot of kids who don't have a home and they don't have everything that they need. And she was thinking about it and talking about it, and really, really cute, because you could tell that the wheels were turning in her head and her mind, right? And she was really, really processing it. And so I started talking about bracelets and that, because I have one of those lava bracelets for the chakras, and she was looking at my bracelet. And she said, what we could do? We could make bracelets, and you could sell them, and we could give part of the money to, we could send it to foster care organizations to help for kids who don't have things. She was saying it in her own 10-year-old way. But I thought that was the sweetest thing, and I thought it was a fabulous idea, actually, and I was really proud of her for even thinking of that. So what came about was, instead of arguing about whether this is right or wrong, we came up with a way to help in a little way in that situation. So we are going to be doing this together, my niece and I, and I'm probably also going to try to rope my daughter into helping me. But we're going to try to start making bracelets, and I'm going to infuse them with Reiki energy, and they will be for sale. Still have to figure it all out and how exactly this is going to work. But I am going to try to do different kinds of bracelets, so ones that focus with certain crystals on certain healing powers. So be on the lookout for that, and know that we're doing it for a good cause. She wants to give the money to an organization that will help with foster children. So I was proud of her for that, and I'm kind of excited about that. I think it will be fun, and hopefully I'm not taking on too much, but summer is coming up, so hopefully I'll have a little more time. All right, so sorry about that little rant, but I just had to mention that because I just thought that was so cute. Okay, guys, so again, do your own research. Just go to Google or go to Pinterest, look up your own crystals and what they mean, and whatever it is you need to work on or what you would like in your life, pick the crystal for that. Again, if you order them from Amazon, just read the reviews and make sure you're getting something that's actually legitimate and real, and people will tell you that. Or if you go from an online store, those are usually pretty reputable. Again, just do your research. Excuse me. If you have a place that sells them in person, they're usually a little more expensive there, but the nice thing is you can go and pick them up and actually see how they feel. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to pick a card for you, a couple of cards before I left. So I decided to use the Goddess Power Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. And this is a really beautiful deck. And the card that I drew for you is Mary, which is miracles. And it says, the Christian goddess Mary, Mother of Miracles, has come to celebrate with you today. She is here to remind you of all of the amazing wonders that are everywhere in your life right now. Look around you, especially at all the synchronistic events that have already taken place. Ever since you were born, events and opportunities have come together to support you, guide you, show you love, and present the world as you see it. Look closely and see the hand of the divine working on your behalf. You are a powerful co-creator, and so you are responsible and accountable for the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that seed your field of dreams. Remember, miracles are uncanny evidence that from the invisible world, life springs into form without any reasonable cause for the effect. Mary gave birth, as the great goddess was shown to do long before the Christian myth of Mary became real. She, too, proved herself to be the very essence of creation itself. In this moment, Mary reminds you of those miracles that you too can call into being. You don't need a cause or any evidential fact or calculation to believe and then see that miracles rise up in the conditions of your life. When Mary appears, you are reminded that you will never run out of miracles. I love that. I love that a lot. All right, guys. Well, if you need anything from me, there's so many ways you can work with me. I'm really excited about the upcoming class that I am launching with Heather Doran. We have done a Facebook Live on my page and on her page, The Rebel Entrepreneurs. And we have also done a podcast that you probably listen to. So if you are one of those people who are feeling like you're just stuck in life, you're lost, and you're just not really sure where you're going, don't wait. Don't sit there stuck and not really sure which way to go. You know, I was like you too. I once just felt like I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I felt lost. I had nowhere to turn, you know? I just felt like I didn't know what my life was going to be like. I didn't know how it would turn out or how it was going to get better. And I didn't know. I didn't know how I was going to see things get better. And when I went through my awakening, suddenly things just became clearer for me. And with the help of a trusted mentor, I was able to really get my life back together, or in a direction that I've never been this excited about the direction my life's going. I think it's just amazing, all the things and opportunities that are coming to me. I'm so excited about that, and I'm so thankful that you guys are joining me on this journey, and I know many of you can relate. But this class, you know, I met Heather by chance by taking another class, and I just knew that she was the perfect person to work with because she's so kind and loving, yet she will make you look at your stuff and say, okay, I've got to get this right. So if you have any kind of money issues, you're having debt, you just want to know how to get better control over your finances, she is the one to go to, and especially because she does it in a way that she uses spirituality as well. So the Heal Your Relationship with Money and Manifest the Life of Your Dreams, this class that we are doing, it's a transition into life, getting everything back on track. It's going to be launching soon, so go to my website for more information, and there's a link there that you can go to book or to just ask for more information. You can still get in my class, A Purposeful Pilgrimage. It's just 23 daily lessons, and you can do them on your own. They're self-guided. There's so many great tools there, like guided meditations, tappings, prayers, journaling, lots of things to help you get your life back on track there as well. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, there's so many ways you can do that. Just go to my website to look at how you can work with me. And you can also email me at melissaoatman77@gmail.com if you have questions. You can text me or call me. People text me all the time and say, I want to work with you, but I don't know how. And that's perfectly fine. It's okay not to have all the answers sometimes. Sometimes you just know you have to move your feet, and that's perfectly fine because we will figure out what is the best thing for you. Trust me that everything that I do is guided by the divine. It's guided by my entire spiritual team. So anything that I do for you or feel like I need to do for you is not me. It is spirit. So you will get the very best that you need. I'm so thankful that you joined me today. If you like this podcast, please share it with others, and you can subscribe to this podcast, leave reviews. That helps other people find it, and my mission is really to help as many people as possible. I'm so thankful for all of you who tell me that you recommend this to other people. That means so much. That means more than anything, so thank you for doing that. And don't forget to join me on my Facebook Lives Tuesdays at 7, where I do free card readings. As always, take care of yourself. Have a beautiful day. I am sending you massive love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.